All right. Sorry, guys. Hey, everybody. What's up? It's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. What's up, you guys? Welcome to Monday night, our regularly scheduled 7 p.m. Central Standard Time live stream. So, I worked all day today, and I was thinking because last night after I did that live stream with you guys, um, I could not believe, I guess I just lost track of how many people are watching my channel that are on maintenance medication. Hey, Brad. Hey, Danny. Hey, Merk. And I don't know why. I mean, I knew that there was a lot of you guys, but I just feel like we haven't had a lot of people in a live stream that were asking questions. And so I was really excited yesterday to have all you guys in the stream asking questions and just kind of like giving feedback on your experience. And so I put a poll up and I asked you guys to, pick what you guys wanted to talk about tonight. Okay, so here's the thing. I was thinking about, following through and doing step studies on Monday nights, but this is what I want to do because the way my channel is going, I'm starting to shift into a new. Good, Danny. I'm so happy. I'm starting to shift into an on. Well, I've always been in this direction, but there hasn't always been a program that like I can put my all into that supports maintenance medication until I found out about MARA, which is Medically Assisted Recovery Anonymous. Okay. So on Friday nights, we usually have Medically Assisted Recovery Anonymous meetings. Hey, Reaper Man. And so we usually have those on Fridays at 7. But I really want to start putting more of my time and effort into doing these maintenance recovery support groups for you guys. Of course, anyone is welcome. Anyone is welcome. If you're abstinent and you want to come and hang out and be in the meeting, you can come and be in the meeting. But I really want to start focusing more on helping people that are maybe don't have that many options. Maybe they don't have a Mara meeting in their town. Maybe they aren't welcome at their Narcotics Anonymous or AA meeting in their town. Maybe they've been told that they can't share. Hey, Christy, thank you, girl. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Hey, Angela. Good. I'm glad you're here, girl. I saw you commenting on the community tab. So tonight I want to talk about dealing with judgmental family members, okay? And this could be for a person that's on maintenance medication. This could be for a person that is early in their recovery and their family members are like, addiction's not a disease, it's a choice. And you chose to be this way. Okay, y'all know what I'm talking about? And so I don't have a lot of experience with dealing with my immediate family being judgmental, but don't worry, I have plenty experience being judged. In fact, when me and my husband first got together, I really didn't get along with his mom at all, you guys. In fact, it was a complete nightmare. And that kind of like that the way we interacted with each other bled into our relationship, now that I'm married to my husband. And so um my husband's family does not understand the disease of addiction. Like my family went out, you guys. My mom went out and started going to Al-Anon. She started like asking questions and trying to learn about the disease of addiction so that way she could support me and help me, right? Not all families do that, and I'm aware of that, okay? And I know how very fortunate I am to have a family who supports me and who doesn't judge me for, having an addiction. Um, but I want to share something with you guys. And one day I'm praying. I've been working on my husband, and he's very shy when it comes to being on camera. Um, he's insecure about it. Okay, he doesn't feel comfortable coming on and like bearing his soul. But I've been working on him, and he sees how much how excited I am when I get to come and talk to you guys. And he also sees and hears how much I am helping other people because he hears me talking on the phone with people all day. He hears me messaging you guys when I'm sitting beside him, and because at night what I do is I make sure I sit down and I go through and I try to respond to everybody's comment that leaves a comment. I try to text anybody back that called or texted, and I do all my emails in the evening while I'm laying beside my husband at night. And so he said this to me about 3 or 4 months ago, but he looked at me and he said, you have passion for this. This is your passion. And I wish I had passion for my recovery, like you have passion for helping others. I love my husband so much. And I'm so proud of him for staying sober. But I know that he struggles. He doesn't have it like I do. You know how some people, I feel like with my husband, he's where I was like 8 years ago. He's still kind of like, is this the way I want to live my life? Do I really want to live sober, or do I want to go out and get high still? Do you know what I'm saying? So it's hard for him to, you know, I feel like I'm just like waiting for something to happen. And I don't say that to him, but I think that in my mind. I'm already messed up, and seeing you cry makes it hard. Sorry, Christy. It's not bad tears. It's just that it makes me feel so good to hear my husband say that he sees that I'm passionate because, I feel it, but I wonder if other people can see it too. I've not always been passionate about my recovery either. Yes, Merk, that's how I was. I was like, ugh, I don't want to have to do this. This sucks. It was almost like it was something that I was forced to do. And now I wake up and I'm so excited to do these things. Um, I'm so excited to get on my channel and do a new meeting, and you guys are like giving me feedback. Now that my channel is growing, like I'm getting constant feedback from you guys, which it just makes me so excited because I can work with feedback. I can talk about, like, I want to know what you guys want to hear about. I want to know what you guys need from me, and I want to be able to give that to you, and I want to be able to help you. So, let me tell you, judgmental family. Okay, so let me get focused back on my let me get focused back on our topic that we're supposed to be talking about. Now, you guys know how I am. I can go from tangent to tangent, but usually if I'm on a tangent, there's a good reason for it, and you're going to get a message out of it. So just stick with me, okay? Y'all bear with me. Okay, so judgmental family. So my mother and father-in-law, now my father-in-law, nobody else will say it, nobody else will admit it, but my father-in-law was an alcoholic, okay? He was an active alcoholic, you guys. Your passion has helped me decide to go back to rehab. Susie Q, we were all talking about you the other day. Hey, Texas 2301, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Everyone was asking about you, Susie, so I'm so glad to hear that, girl. My heart is just bursting. I'm so excited for you. This is going to be the beginning of the rest of your life. Everybody, yes, girl, everyone was asking about you. So just so you know, we were all thinking about you and we were all worried about you. So my father-in-law was an active alcoholic, okay? And even I want to make excuses for him, you guys, because he was a Vietnam veteran. He had extremely bad PTSD. When he would go to sleep at night, he would like have like those nightmares and stuff, flashbacks. And so I understand why he drank. Do you know what I mean? But he was an active alcoholic. And so because he was an active alcoholic, the family was already dysfunctional. You know what I'm saying? And so they were already living this life with someone who was actively in their addiction. with Neil's dad. Now, when Neil got old enough, he ended up breaking his back and getting prescribed painkillers. All right. Once Neil was prescribed painkillers, it was all downhill from there. He was automatically hooked, and he's been hooked to painkillers longer than I have been hooked to painkillers. And so, hey, mom life. Yes, Susie, we are so proud of you, girl. Listen, sometimes it takes what it takes. And if it takes you relapsing to realize that it's time to make a change, then hey, girl, I'm proud of you. And I cannot wait to hear about your accomplishments when you get out of treatment. So there was an active alcoholic in the family with my father-in-law. Okay. What, baby? You drank them all. They're gone. Chocolate milk. Would you like some chocolate milk? Yes. Hold on, you guys. Let me pour Nate some chocolate milk. Hey, OG, I see you.
And can I have something to eat?
You want some eggs and bacon and eggs or a piece of pizza?
Pizza.
Okay, here you go. Chocolate milk.
Do the floss. The baby floss.
Show me the baby floss. 5, 6, 7, 8.
And then the baby floss.
Floss it. Floss it. Go flossy. Okay, let go. Boy, if you don't let go. Hush. Boy, I am on a video, you little turd knocker.
Can they see me?
No, but you got me taken away from my group. I'm trying to help you.
They only see you.
No, they can't see me because we're over here in the kitchen. We're doing recovery.
Is this how you spell her? I think it's H-R-R.
H-E-R. Her. H-E-R. There you go, chicken nugget. Pizza and chocolate milk. You want to come down and get this. Go put that on the counter and then come back and get this so you don't spill it. You got it? Oh, I think that's dangerous. Go take that up first and then come back and get your chocolate milk. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, you guys. Had to get Nate set up with some pizza and some chocolate milk. So they already had, my father-in-law was actively drinking, and then my husband broke his back, got put on painkillers, and so his addiction started right then. So not only did my father-in-law have his addiction, but my husband had his addiction. So whenever I met my husband, he was in full-blown addiction. His dad was drinking, and then you had me. I was in my active addiction. So you had all three of us underneath the same roof, wilding out, basically, and it was this shame. There was this shame that was put on because it was shameful to be a drug addict. It was shameful to be a drunk. And so instead of acknowledge that we all three had addictions, we would just act like it wasn't happening. And I hate that. How many of you guys have family members who just act like it's not happening? Just ignore it. Or when you're around, they go away because they don't want to be around you. And so that's not how my family ever dealt with anything. We always dealt with things head on. My parents would confront me with my behavior right away. And so, but that's not how it was with my husband and his family. So when I moved in, it was just very, very dysfunctional. And there was a lot of enabling going on. My father-in-law was me and my husband's probably one of our biggest enablers. He gave us money, he gave us rides, he gave us cars, he did everything for us because he hated to see us in pain. He hated to see us going through withdrawal. Okay, and then you had my mother-in-law. This forced her to be the bad guy. And so it caused this tension between our whole family where, Neil's dad would save us, and then his mom would get mad and make him sleep on the couch, make his dad sleep on the couch, and then we'd be in the doghouse because we were the ones who were getting high, and that's why Alan came to help us, So when it was time for us to start getting sober because our son was removed from our care, I knew right away that we were going to have issues with Neil's side of the family. I knew that it wasn't going to be like, hey, we support you in your recovery and we're willing to do anything we can to help you. And, Neil's side of the family is they're more focused on themselves. And which, listen, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that when you're getting sober and you're trying to change your life, it really helps if your family is supportive of the changes that you're trying to make. It's really helpful if you have kids and you need to go to a meeting, your parents can watch your children so you can go to a meeting. And that was one of the first issues that we ran into early on when I got my son back was that, me and my husband would want to go to an AA meeting, and we needed to go to a meeting. We needed to be in the middle of the recovery scene, and we had no one to help us to babysit my son for 1 hour, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's just makes it a lot harder when your family's not supporting you. So then let me tell you about my sister-in-law. And that's where the judgment comes in. That's where dealing with judgmental family members has affected me. And honestly, you guys, at first it really, really, really bothered me. Like, I know you guys have seen me get upset about it before because um, during Thanksgiving, we went to my mother-in-law's house. Now, my father-in-law passed away 2 years ago. And thank God, you guys, he got to see me and my husband sober. And he was so happy. When he passed away, I know he was happy. And he was so proud of me and Neil. I know he was proud of me and Neil because he would tell us how good of parents we were being now that we had gotten sober. And I know that everything changed for us when we got sober and we were actually present with our son and able to take care of our son. Now, the reason why me and my husband's sister don't get along is because whenever me and Neil first started dating, she automatically did not like me. And so she never really gave me a chance in the first place. But once me and my husband got sober, well, no, let me take you back to this point. When my son got taken away by DHS, my sister-in-law wanted to have custody of my son. And I didn't feel comfortable allowing that to happen. Hey, Jeff. Just so you guys know, if you didn't know, Jeff has a channel. It's called The Recovery. Go subscribe to his channel when y'all get done over here. So my son got removed from my care in July of 2015. And in August of 2015, CPS confronted me and my husband and asked us if we would like for my sister-in-law to have my son. Okay. And so, absolutely not. I said, no, I don't want my sister-in-law to have my son because she won't give him back to me. And this is the way I've always experienced with my husband's sister, is that she hates me and she hates my husband. Her and my Neil and his sister do not get along. They don't even talk to each other, okay? And it's a lot to do with because of his addiction and because of the jealousy from his family, his parents catering to him all the time. She feels like he got all the attention, and she feels like his parents should have just, kicked him out on the streets and been done with him. And listen, I think that if they stopped enabling him, Neil probably would have gotten sober a lot sooner, or he would have died. So, what's done is done. We can't change it now. The enabling is done. It's over and done with. We've been sober for almost 5 years now. There's like really nothing else to talk about. Let's get past that already. Well, Neil's sister doesn't want to get past that, you guys, and we had to go hang out on Thanksgiving. She also doesn't want to let go of the fact that I didn't let my son go with her and I didn't let her have custody of my son. Now, the reason I didn't do that, you guys, is because she was already working for CPS. She was already a foster care parent. And I just had this feeling that my son was going to go to her house, and then she was never going to allow my son to come back to me, or she would go out of her way to keep me from getting him, or having him back, or telling him bad things about me. And I just felt so uncomfortable. So I stopped that dead in the tracks. Well, when I stopped that, my mother-in-law was like, why won't you let Why won't you let Neil's sister have Nathaniel? Why won't you let Neil's sister have Nathaniel? And I was just like, I don't feel comfortable with it. You know, he's my son. I'm not going to let that happen. And you guys, honestly, I'm so grateful that I didn't, because my son went to an amazing family, a Christian family who loved him, and they took such good care of him, and they worked with me. They wanted me to get my son back. They were for reunification. They helped me so much. Hey, Auntie Ro. You guys, that's that's my mom's little baby sister in the comment section. My auntie. Hey, love you. And so when um when when I told her that I didn't want Nathaniel to go to her, that further put a wedge in between our relationship. Okay, guys. So now, not only does my sister-in-law not like me because I was on drugs and because me and Neil were on actively using, but she also doesn't like me now because I don't trust her. She knows I don't trust her, and I wouldn't let her have my son. Okay, I wouldn't let my son go to her for foster care. So we ended up getting Nathaniel back, and it was actually pretty quickly. We got Nate back in about 10 months. He was reunified with us, and everything was, it was a miracle, you guys, because when I got sober, I went and started working the steps. I started going to meetings. I started doing everything I could. I started praying. I started going to church. Man, anything I could do to stay sober, I was in it. I was doing it, y'all. I was right there. I was, like I told you guys the other day, I was walking if I had to walk. If I had to, I was everywhere with my son in his stroller, everywhere. And so now we have this wedge in between us even more. Well, during Thanksgiving, this is the first Thanksgiving that we've seen my sister-in-law, okay, in 5 years, basically. And so my son doesn't even know that side of the family because she doesn't want to be around us, so she won't come to things. I don't know what my mother-in-law did, but she got her to come, and we all were there together. And it was so uncomfortable because everybody acts like nothing happened. Everybody acts like like, they don't act like they love each other, but they just act like there's nothing happened. And I hate that. I hate that whenever you're like in the same room with somebody and they hate your guts. They have no respect for you, but they don't have like the balls enough to say anything to you about it or talk to you about it. So this is the first time that I ever had to deal with like judgment from somebody in my own family, somebody that, was connected to me, which is in my in-law side of the family. And so what I finally had to realize, you guys, and this is why we hadn't seen them for 5 years, I stopped trying. I put up my boundary and I said, you know what? If y'all aren't supportive of my husband and I's recovery, if you don't believe in what we're doing, and we have changed our lives. Okay. It would be different if it was 3 months and we were trying to like get everybody to be with us again, but it had been over 2 years since we had been sober. And it was still like this negativity was being spit back at us all the time. 2 years have gone by, and actually now it's 4.5, right? But back then it was 2 years. And so I was constantly just like, we're never going to do good enough for her. We're never going to meet her standards. So the best advice I can give to you, if you have a family member who's judgmental, if they're judging you for the way you work your recovery, whether you're on maintenance medication, whether you go to meetings or whatever it is, right? Cut them out of your life. You don't need that toxic shit in your life. You don't need family members that are going to be there to drag you down, because that's not what family is about. Family is about loving you and forgiving you and supporting you. This is the hardest thing you're ever going to do, y'all. Okay? Getting sober and changing your life because you're not used to doing it and because it's a big change. It's really really going to be it's not hard, as in like it's not like geometry or college algebra, but it's difficult in the fact that you have to change everything. Okay, do you know what I'm saying? Girl, I so know what you mean. My parents are the same way towards me and my boyfriend. Yes, Kristen. And it's like, my mother-in-law, I know she is so proud of me and Neil, but she still has that like she just wants to act like nothing ever happened. You know, it's like we can never talk about anything and just get it out. And I hate that because I want to be able to say, I'm sorry that I did this, that, and the other, and I hope that you can forgive me and let's get past this. Let's become a closer family unit. And but it's not ever going to be like that because there's no communication on their side of the family. On my side of the family, on the other hand, on my parents, on the DeMayo side, it's like there's so much communication that it might be a little bit too much sometimes because I tell my people, my mom and dad, everything. You know, my parents was my parents make such an effort to make sure that my husband knows that they love him and that they're proud of him, and that means so much to me because I wish sometimes that I had that from my Neil's side of the family for me. But I have enough of that from my mom and dad and for my husband from my family that it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? They really, my mom and dad go out of their way to show my husband how much they love him and how much they support him and how proud of them they are for his recovery. Do you know what I'm saying? So I remember when it was probably like 2 years sober, and I was talking to my sponsor, and I was telling her, and she saw how much it bothered me to have this disconnect between my husband's side of the family and me and him, and how I felt like I want to have a relationship with my mother-in-law and I want us to be close, but I felt like I couldn't. And it really, really bothered me for a long time. And I remember, talking to my sponsor about it, and we did my fourth step, we did my eighth and ninth step. I mean, I did all these things, I gave it over to God, I let go, and I just let it be. And I quit making it such a big deal. I just let it go. And my mother in law, you guys, has changed so much. She actually makes an effort to tell me that she's proud of me. And she never ever did that before. And I know that she is proud of me because she sees the hard work that I'm doing on my recovery and she lets me know. And because she trusts me and she talks to me about Neil, about my husband, she asks me if he's okay. She makes sure she gives me money to put in our savings and stuff like that. Like, she trusts me with like the big things. Like, she knows I'm not going to steal her money anymore. She knows I'm not going to take her car and wreck it. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's a big deal. That's a big deal for me and her to get to a point where we actually have some kind of like relationship like that. It's still not perfect, but it's way better than it used to be. But I don't ever think that my relationship with my sister-in-law will ever be repaired because she is just judgmental. Okay? And the way that she's judgmental is this. She is very, very Christian. And I say Christian in parentheses because she's not the kind of Christian that I think Christians are supposed to be. She's the kind that is hypocritical, the kind that looks down on you because you're not as good as she is. Hey Stewie, Happy New Year. Um, she's the kind that uses her religion as like something that puts her above you. Do you know what I'm saying? And because me and my husband didn't get sober through religion, it's like she's always tried to like get us to go to church with her and be saved from our addictions, right? And it's like we tried that. Listen, you guys, I promise you, we went to church with her. I went to church with her. I went to the altar. I had them pray on me and all that stuff. But it didn't cure my addiction. It didn't take my addiction away. And listen, I'm not saying that miracles can't happen and God can't come down and cure somebody from their obsession to use drugs, but it just didn't happen for me like that. Yes, Krista, those kind of Christians. And so it's always just been like, oh God, here she's coming again, everybody. And so it's like this skate and destroy. You got people like that in your family? It's like this. I don't care. Like, I used to really want her approval. And this is what it all comes down to, okay, you guys? I wanted her validation. I wanted her approval. I wanted her to say, "Yeah, you're a good match for my brother. I approve of you." But what I finally realized, you guys, is that I don't have to have her approval. I don't need her to validate me. And when I finally realized that I don't have to have her stamp of approval to be doing okay, that's when I put up that boundary and I said, I don't want to be around people like that. I don't want to be around people who aren't cheering me on. I don't want to be around somebody who's waiting for me to fail, you know? I don't want to be around for somebody who thinks because I'm not recovering the way they want me to recover that I'm not doing good at all. You know, it's just this hypocritical, judgmental like arrogance. And that's the only way I can explain it to you is that it's so it's one of the nastiest ways that somebody can be. You know what I mean? Like, I can handle a lot of stuff, but I can't handle this. My family are all drunks, but I'm the black sheep just because I use drugs instead. Skate and destroy. And that's what I was talking about, about my husband's dad. He was an alcoholic, and um, nobody will admit that he was an alcoholic. Not even he would. And so, but we were over here being damned to hell because we're addicted to drugs. But it's like, I can totally see where the addiction and all that kind of stuff happened in Neil's family. My wife's family is very broken: residential schools, drugs, abuse, you name it. Oh, I'm sorry, Scotty. Yeah, prayed up. We don't need that. Nobody needs that. Like, if they're like putting these expectations on you, and their expectations that you have to prove yourself, or or you have to do this to do. You don't need those people in your life. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong. Like, if you are a person who has promised your family you're going to get sober time and time again, and then, you've been like, Mom, Dad, I'm going to get sober. I'm going to get sober. And then you finally do get sober and they say, listen, Christy, I see that you're sober and I'm proud of you. Okay. But I want to make sure that you're really going to stay sober this time. So I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to sit back and relax, and we'll see in a year how you're doing. Right. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But when people are like, almost like just looking down on you in this hateful, meanful, unsupportive, judgmental way, like, you don't need that in your life. Get to stepping. I don't need you. And that's what I realized. Like, I don't need his sister to validate me. Like, I know that my husband loves me. He married me, for God's sakes. We have a son together. And I think that's what it was for me, is that I was like looking for her to say, you're doing a good job. I'm proud of you. And that's really what it comes down to, you guys. It sucks. I live with a family member who dislikes me because they don't take responsibility for what they have done with their life. Hey, Billy video, like, are they still in active addiction and they're mad at you because you're in recovery? I can totally understand that also. Totally. Hey, wonderful mom. Yep, it's okay for some in the family, not immediately family, but uncles, cousins, etc., to drink. But then came me, and the drugs we were told to all it was completely different ball game. Yeah, and you know what else, you guys? It's a lot of it is because alcohol is socially acceptable. Okay, no one coming out of the sky to save us. To hell with negative energy. Exactly, Leonard. Exactly. Um, if you have family that's judging you for being on Suboxone, listen to me, okay? They need education, all right? They need education. If they are willing to, watch videos about maintenance medication and hear someone else's story about how it saved them and helped them, you know, send them a video, send them somebody's video, send them one of my videos about how Suboxone helped save my life. Maybe that will help open their eyes. But I'll tell you this, if you're a family member who is judging your child or significant other for being on Suboxone, I want to say this to you. Wouldn't you rather them be on Suboxone than to overdose and die? I know many, many parents who have lost their children to overdose, and they wish their kids had gotten on Suboxone. They wish that their kids had had that chance because now they're dead. My wife is the strongest person I know for real, as well as growing up on the northern Manitoba res. Her first husband cheated with family, then got shot. She went to do a toke and almost hit her. Oh, I walked through addiction and Suboxone was given to me in detox and it saved my life. Hey, Rachel, welcome. It's taken almost me being on it for 16 years for my family are finally coming around. And that's the thing, like Cindy, you just had to get to a point where it doesn't matter what they think. Here's another thing, you guys, about Suboxone, okay? Suboxone is quickly becoming the preferred method for helping people that have opioid use disorder. Okay, it's quickly bumping out methadone. It's quickly becoming number one in treatment for people that are struggling with opioid addiction. Okay, and so the medication is an amazing medication because of the fact that it's a partial agonist and that you can take it as prescribed and you're not going to be getting high from it. And so it really is beneficial to someone that can get on this medication, get their lives stabilized, and get themselves in some therapy, get themselves some, a support system, and get themselves some knowledge of the disease of addiction. And start to really grasp it and start to change their behaviors in their life. And then if they get to that point where they're like, you know what? I feel good about where I'm at today. I think I might want to start trying to taper off. Then so be it. But I also feel like you guys got to listen to me, okay? If you're on medication, if you're on Suboxone and you don't feel comfortable with getting off of it, no one should be pressuring you to do that. Okay? Nobody should be pushing you to do that. All right, that has to be your decision. Okay, that has to be your decision. And you have to know in your heart, without a shadow of a doubt, that it's something that you're ready to do. Okay, please, please don't go out there and say, well, I saw Real Talk Recovery. She's tapering, so that means it must be my time to taper too. Because that's not true. I used to compare myself to other people that were on Suboxone that were tapering before I was all the time. And it drove me insane, completely insane, because I wasn't getting there. That I wasn't ready. I wasn't getting there as quickly as I thought I should be getting there, right? I can tell you guys this. If you're on maintenance medication, there are things that you need to be doing besides just taking medication. You cannot just get on Suboxone and expect for your life to be better. Because what will happen is you'll get on Suboxone and you'll either sell your medication, divert your medication, or you'll start getting high on other drugs. And you'll be in the same spot you were when you started, and now you'll just be hooked on Suboxone too. So you got to do something more than just get on maintenance medication, because that's not going to benefit you if you're not making changes in your life with your behaviors. Okay. And if you're still fucking around with the same people who were getting high and you're sitting around, on Suboxone and you got friends all around you that are shooting heroin still, you guys, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, I want to kick your ass. I want to beat the shit out of you right now if you're still doing that, because you are in such a dangerous situation. And All it takes, you guys, is one time for you to die. All it takes, okay? And then we talked about this the other day about letting go of these people in our lives that are still getting high, that are toxic for us, right? And I know that I used to have the same problem, you guys. This is why I struggled for so long. This is why I struggled to stay sober and get sober, because I kept hanging on to people that didn't serve me. Do you understand what I'm saying? People that were not for me. All right? And I still do it to this day. I still hang on to people that are not trying to help me or be a good influence in my life, because you know me, I just got to help somebody. I feel this need, this draw to be there to make a change for somebody's life. But if people can't make a change for their own life, you are not going to be able to do anything to help them. So if you have went to the doctor and you have gotten on Suboxone and you have taken that first step to getting better and changing your life, then you've got to separate yourself from those people that are not moving in that same direction as you, because they will take you down with them. It even says it, you guys. It says it in the big book. It talks about how we have to be like hella serious about our recovery, like a person that's in the deep end of the water drowning, okay, and they're treading water. Like we have to be so serious about staying sober, changing everything, that we have to be fighting for it, like we'd be fighting to get to the top of the water after you jump off the Golden Gate Bridge. You know what I mean? Like you have to be just going, 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 right? I know, Merc. Just want it, but I've tried on my own and can't get past day 4. So go back to my normal dose. And you know what? That's the next video we're going to do. And the next video, we're going to talk about tapering on Suboxone. I just wanted to talk to you guys about judgmental family members. I know some of you guys are dealing with that right now. I know some of you guys have husbands and wives that you can't tell them that you're on maintenance medication. And you have us, okay? You have us here, and you can come in here and you can tell all of us, okay? If you don't feel comfortable telling your family members, or you feel like they're going to judge you, just don't even worry about it. Don't worry. You don't need their validation. You don't need their approval, okay? Because you're doing what you have to do for you today. So I got rid of the toxic people in my life, and alas, now I'm completely alone. Hey, Katrina, right? Me too, girl. Me too. Uh, let me tell you guys. I did the same thing, Katrina, and it's just me and my husband. It's just me and Neil and our baby boy. And honestly, I knew it would be like this. I knew it would be like this, because I knew once I stopped doing what my drug friends were doing, then they weren't going to want to be around me anymore, because they weren't really friends. They weren't really true friends. They were just there because they could benefit from me. I'm on Subutex and the pills are so small, so I'll cut in half and only take one in the AM, then half in the PM. But by day 4, I'm back to taking 2 a day. Okay, so Krista, let me try to tell you something, okay, girl? So you're trying to taper too quickly, first of all, okay? Like, stop. If you want to taper, this is what you do, okay? Let's say you're on 8 milligrams, all right? If you want to taper, you go down to 6 milligrams, okay? You can do that. Or you can go down to 7 milligrams. You could just take away 1 milligram at a time, okay? But if you go down from whatever dose you're on, down 1 milligram or 2 milligrams, you stay at that dose for at least 2 weeks so your body can stabilize at that dose. Okay, when you're trying to go down like every day, your body doesn't have time to stabilize at the dose that you're on. You know, please, like, if you have to, call your doctor and go and say, Doc, if I wanted to taper, what's a good taper program for me? I'm going to tell you how my doctor has me doing it. Now, I'm on a very slow taper because I'm in no rush. Why are you rushing? Who are you racing against? I don't see anybody trying to catch us. Like, slow down. Okay? You didn't get here overnight, so you're not going to get off overnight. You didn't get addicted and get your whole life fucked up in one day, right? It took time to get there. So with my doctor, I was on 12 milligrams. I'm all the way down to 4 milligrams, but you know how long it took me to get down to 4? I started my taper in March. Okay, so March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. It's taken me 10 months to get from 12 milligrams to 4 milligrams. And that is like a super slow taper. Okay, now I'm sure you could go down, like a milligram, 2 milligrams every 30 days, and that would even be a quicker taper than what I'm doing, because I'm going down 2 milligrams every third month. Because the way my doctor has it set up is I only have to see him every quarter. So every third month I see him. So every third month we take away 2 milligrams. And the only time I've seen or experienced any kind of like feeling from it was when I went from 6 to 4, and I went through this stage where I was yawning all the time, but it wasn't anything I couldn't handle. Yeah, it's so easy, and it's it's such a slow taper that it's like I'm just chilling. I'm just chilling, and that's also what that's doing for me, Krista, is it's allowing me to get used to, okay, now I'm only taking 4 milligrams. Now I'm only taking 4 milligrams. Because the first week or two that I go down in my dose, I'm struggling to not take more. Do you know what I'm saying? Like when I went from 6 to 4, I still wanted to take that extra 2 milligrams the first week that I was on the 4 milligrams. I didn't, but I was still like in that 6 milligram mode. Do you know what I'm saying? So really, once I've done it for 30 days, then I'm in it, and I'm in a consistent, like, okay, 4 milligrams, 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening, 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening, you know? So that's even though 10 years is even though 10 years is a while. What happened with it? What are y'all talking about 10 years? And that's the thing, you guys, like you can be on Suboxone for the rest of your life if you want to. It's really up to you. Oh, Amy, I'm sorry, girl. I just went up and read your comment. Yeah, okay, Daniel, you see? And so that's what I'm saying. Like, just really go slowly. I let anxiety, hold on, Krista, I see what you're saying. I let my anxiety get in my head, like taking that extra step is going to help with that, knowing it won't. It's the obsession, girl. It's the obsession, okay? So I have a couple of girls that reach out, and I help them get themselves on a program of taking their medication as prescribed. Because, hey, Christian, a lot of people struggle with overtaking their medication, and so it's like an accountability check-in when you call or text and say, okay, I'm taking my dose this morning, and then I'm taking my dose this afternoon, whenever you do it. And so that helps you to stay accountable, and like, or if you guys want to like start keeping track of it in your journal or something, but you got to like retrain your brain, because automatically your brain is going to want to overtake the Suboxone, because it's just like when we were in our active addiction, right? And so what makes Suboxone any different? Even though we know it's not going to get us high, it's like that's what. Do you see how strong our addictions are? Do you see how psychological a lot of it's our minds, you guys. It's the disease of addiction is in our minds. No, I don't take it immediately, Krista. Sometimes I don't take it until noon. But I used to take it immediately, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I really have started to work hard on kind of not worrying about it. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I used to obsessively think about it. I do overtake. Nicole has helped me tremendously. There's my girl. Yes, that's my wonderful mom. Yes. I know you did. And she called me one day and she said, "Hey Nicole, like I'm tripping. I'm taking little pieces of Suboxone all throughout the day." And I was like, "Oh God, we got to get you to stop doing that." And so, I just talked with her and tried to help her to understand that, that's what our addiction wants us to do. Our addiction wants us to take a little piece here, a little piece there, a little piece here, a little piece there. And before you know it, we're taking like 10 pieces of Suboxone all throughout the day, and that's that addictive behavior. That is the addictiveness. That's the behavior. The kind of like smoking cigarettes almost. It's if you can really get yourself to not focus, listen, you will be okay if you don't take your medication first thing in the morning and you wait till noon. You'll be fine. You're not going to feel anything. You're not going to feel any different. Um, a lot of it is in our heads, you guys. But sometimes I forget to take it right away, but I always take it when I get to work because I know in my mind, like, okay, I'm at work. I'm going to start sweating because I'm going to be working hard. And so I take my medicine. You know what I mean? Oh, Green Eye Cat, I'm so happy that I've been able to be of service to you, for real. Yeah, and that's the thing, you guys. Like we have the Discord. You guys can join the Discord, and we have the Facebook group, Real Talk Recovery Facebook group. And we also have my Patreon. So if you want to join Patreon, you can join for as low as $3 a month. It's a subscription, and then you'll be in the group with Cindy and all the other girls. And them girls, Cindy Briggs will keep you on your A game because she doesn't miss a day. She goes in there and she checks on everybody every morning. And so, it's just about helping each other. It's just a bunch of us girls helping each other. Okay, Skate and Destroy. I'll see you later. Thanks, baby, for coming in. Love you. So, Krista, it's okay because here's the thing, girl. If you haven't ever thought about it and noticed that you're doing that, sometimes we don't realize it. And so that's why I want you guys to start being more aware and start understanding, like, okay, it's okay to take my medication. This is what's prescribed to me, but let's get everybody like on a healthy medication. Okay, like let's get you taking your medication in the morning. And this is what my doctor told me. My doctor told me that anything more than 2 times, like taking it once in the morning, taking it once in the afternoon, you're crossing over into dangerous territory. You're crossing over into that addiction kind of exercise. We're taking this, taking that, taking this, taking that, taking this, taking that. Like we're little hamsters burrowing, Suboxone cheeks or something. It is. That's what it is. So here's the thing, you guys. Like, for those of you guys that haven't ever come to my like meetings where we talk about the 12 steps, that's what it talks about in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. It talks about how um, the disease of addiction is centered in our mind, and it's two. Well, I say it's three, but it's a twofold disease, mind and body. Okay. And I say it's in our spirit too, because this is a spiritual warfare. But the disease of addiction is so powerful. And a lot of the times when you're going through withdrawal, I bet I would even dare to say that 75% of withdrawal is mental and the other 35% is physical. I'm serious, you guys, because your mind is so powerful. It can make you feel things that maybe really aren't happening, but you're afraid they're going to happen, so you're thinking about them. You know what I mean? Yeah, good job, Christian. And so, but that's a healthy way to take your medication, like a therapeutic way to take it is, if you take it in the morning and take it in the evening. But we cross over when we're taking it like 16 times a day. You know what I mean? We're taking six pieces a day, you know? Um, And the reason I say that is because I did the same thing. Okay. I'm not saying, hey, Shannon, I'm not saying this because I want you guys to feel ashamed or be embarrassed. I'm telling you guys because I did the same thing. All right. When I first was prescribed Suboxone, I would be at work and I would take a piece there. Then there'd be an hour goes by and then I'd take another piece. And then an hour or two would go by and I'd take another piece. And then right before it was time to close and I had to do all my working duties, I would take another piece, just like I was snorting lines of cocaine. Yeah. And so that's why I've even heard, thanks, OG. I've even heard some people say, like, if you're going through Suboxone taper and you have gotten to the point where you jump completely off, go to work for the first 5 days of your withdrawal. Okay. So let's say you jump off. Okay. Go to work that day, go to work the next day, and then 3 days after. And then by day 5 is when you're probably going to start to feel like physical withdrawal, right? If you even get any withdrawals. Because some people, you guys, I've heard of some people tapering so low that they really don't have a hard time. And it's smooth sailing. Hey, Bethany. Yeah, but it's okay, girl. No worries. Sometimes I'll take 1.5 a day, but I can take 2 a day. I don't do it that often, but some days are bad days. Hey, I get it. Like you're allotted 2 a day. And that's how it was for me when I was allotted 12 milligrams. Now that I'm down lower in on my dose, now I take less. Try to get a lockbox. If you keep yourself out of the medicine when you don't need it, it makes a huge difference. Absolutely, Merck. I totally agree. Good, Shannon. I'm so glad, girl. Yes, Krista, I have totally been there. Ran out of my script early many, many times. And then my doctor is looking at me like I'm selling it or something, And here, you want to say? And I'm like, Doc, I promise I'm not selling it. And at my clinic, if we run out early, that we get bumped back a phase. We don't get to move forward in our treatment, because at my clinic, you guys, it's not like we just go there and they just give us the medication. Like we are going there and we're getting treatment. We're getting therapy and we're having group meetings. So it really does help a lot. I just want you guys, I want this channel, like I've really been thinking about it since last night and I saw how many of you guys came in and are needing support. I really want to get back focused on helping people and focusing on us that are on medically assisted treatment that need support, because there's not a lot of places where you can find support and be on Suboxone or methadone. I have not ran out early in a long time. Good, Christian, good. But I'm scared to go down. It's okay. Don't be afraid. Just take your time. If you're not ready and you still fear, here's what I say. If you're still feeling afraid, then maybe it's not time. I haven't been afraid to go down the past 4 visits I went to the doctor. In fact, this last time I went down, I was excited. I was like, yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it. So maybe that's your body or your subconscious telling you maybe it's not time yet, Bethany, I know some doctors that do that too that are okay with it. What do you mean you're allotted 12 milligrams? I mean, when I was allotted 12, like when my prescription was for 12 milligrams. Sometimes when I was prescribed 12, I wouldn't take the whole 12. I would take 8 milligrams. And so I would have that 4 milligrams left over. And that's also how I knew that I was ready to start tapering, because I wasn't taking my whole dose anymore. You know what I mean? Because there was many years where I was taking the whole dose, and that's fine. Like that's what I was supposed to do. But when I started not taking the whole dose and I was going into my doctor's office and I was having extra because I was being honest and bringing my medication in with me to show him that I had extra, that's where we sat down and he was like, "Hey, do you think maybe you are ready to taper?" You know? I'm scared to tell him and then run out. I totally understand. And Krista, I felt the same way because I was like, oh God, I'm not going to have any to fall back on anymore. Right. And so just make sure it's okay if you go down and then you can't adhere to that taper, and you're overtaking it, that's when you go up to your doctor's office and you say, "Doc, I thought I was ready, but I'm overtaking it. I got to get back on my regular dose." You just be honest. Okay? You just be honest. Another big fear a lot of people have, including myself, is that if we go down and don't like it, how her doctors may not want to put us back up. Yeah, Daniel, that's what, and see, I don't know. I don't have that experience because my doctor is like, if you need to go back up, just let me know. Just let me know. You know what I mean? Um, so I wish that all doctors were like my doctor and like Dr. B, because it really is like you are in charge of, I'm in charge of my treatment program. Like my treatment plan, like I'm driving the bus, and my doctor, he's in the passenger side making sure that I make good decisions and that I'm driving with my seatbelt on. And if he needs to step in and help me out a little bit, he will. But I am making my decisions for my treatment. And so if you don't have a doctor that you can talk to that is like working with you on your program, that's another thing that we all like. I want you guys to really start trying to talk with your doctors. I'm going to make a whole separate video about that, about how you need to be able to sit down and be honest with your doctor, and they need to respect you, and they also need to be there to listen and help empower you and help you get confidence in your recovery and your treatment, you know. A lot of doctors can be difficult. Yeah, I know, right, Merck? Yeah, he is. And he, just so you guys know, he started a Patreon, and it's like, I don't think it's expensive at all. But if you guys want like one-on-one sessions with him, all you have to do is join his Patreon, and you can like talk to him, and he'll answer your questions, all kinds of stuff like that. But that's a guaranteed way to be able to like have him to work with you. You know what I mean? My doctor says I need a reality TV show. uh, Oh, down that I have extra, so now we have some put away for just in case. I know what you mean, OG. Hey, girl. Hey, Karima. What's up, girl? Or Catherine. I always want to call you the screen name. Right, Daniel? I know, I wish. So I have a lot more videos that I want to do, just, about Suboxone and about, helping you guys with your treatment programs and stuff. So I got to message Jeff and find out when the Mara book is going to be ready, because what I want to do, I want to be able to share steps from that book with you guys. I want us to be able to learn the 12 steps through Mara, because Mara is for us. Mara is Medically Assisted Recovery Anonymous. And I want us to be able to do that together. Um, but if it's not done soon, we'll just go and do the 12 steps. Thanks, Krista. I'm trying. Y'all help me too. That's why I like doing this, because it keeps me on my toes. Y'all help me stay sober too. I mean, honestly, you guys, like, I didn't know anything about Suboxone when I got on Suboxone. Okay, I knew that. I knew what it was. I asked the questions. I knew that I would need to taper when it was time to come off. But the reason why I'm so passionate about Suboxone and helping people that are on maintenance is because I got treated like shit by other people in recovery. I got judged by other drug addicts. I got made fun of for being on Suboxone. I got told that I wasn't sober for being on Suboxone. I got told that I was just might as well be shooting heroin for being on Suboxone. You're not sober because you're on Suboxone. That's just legally getting high because you're on Suboxone. I had people who I thought really, I looked up to them, who had years and years of sobriety. And I told my story, and they were like, "You don't even need to be sharing your story because you're not even clean." And so I was like, man, this is bullshit. I can't believe that other drug addicts would judge other drug addicts like that. And what also made me really just like, is that these are drug addicts who are the same as me. They're not doctors. But don't you know, you guys, when a drug addict gets sober, a lot of them think they know it all. That's the exact reason why I'm here, Nicole. The rooms aren't for everyone. And I hate that. I hate that it's like, because I love the 12 steps, you guys. I love them. But I hate that some people have ruined it for for others. I hate that people are judgmental and they put their foots in their mouths and they say things, that turn other people away. Or people would say, "You're yes, yes." I hate that. I hate that. I just want to thank everyone. My 19-year-old took me to Olive Garden for making it to 6 months. Misty, I'm so proud of you. Hey, you guys, I forgot to tell y'all. We're having a sobriety birthday party on New Year's Day, Wednesday. So, Misty, we're going to have a celebration and we'll talk all about your recovery and I'll tell everybody how we first met and all that good stuff. So, 6 months. Daniel, I'm kicking ass and taking names. Today I woke up, I've eaten healthy. I actually went over and watched Big Lance's channel while he was doing a workout. So I'm doing good. How are you doing? Just left a reply to you on Big Lance's. Hey Woody, what's up, man? Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. Are you still that pill head that, hey, all they ask, I'd say, yeah, and they'd shake their head. I know, right, Merc? Misty, I'm so proud of you. Drug addicts can't keep their shit together, and I don't judge the ones aren't ready. I can just keep talking to them, and because of Suboxone, my shit is totally together. Exactly, exactly. And here's the thing, you guys. Like, this is how I feel about it. All right, I don't feel like if I didn't tell you guys, no one would know I was on Suboxone. If I didn't tell you, no one would know. I say that I tell people I'm on Suboxone, not because I'm like, hey, look at me, I'm on Suboxone. But I tell people that I'm on Suboxone because I know there's other people that have feel just like I did whenever I got told that my recovery wasn't recovery, you know? I thought I was subbed, but I wasn't. Make sure I am now and smash that like. Thanks, Woody. I appreciate it. For real. For real. Wednesday night, Lance is going to come on the channel, you guys. Big Lance is going to come over, y'all. We had a really good video the first time he came over, so I'm excited. I don't know what we'll talk about, but I'm sure it'll be good because me and him, I feel like we have good chemistry on camera together. So we talk well together. You know what I mean? Took months of a girl on it to come up to me and finally say she'd sponsor me. I would tell everyone I was on it back in the rooms and looking for a sponsor, but got more side eye and BS talk from most people. And Krista, that's the part that hurts the most because it's not supposed to. Listen, no one should judge you or give you shit for wanting to work the 12 steps for being on Suboxone. A sponsor is strictly there to take you through the 12 steps. They're not there to tell you what medications to be on. And if you run into someone and you ask them to be your sponsor and they are asking you what medications you're on, or you tell them you're on Suboxone and then they tell you they can't sponsor you, or they say you're not, whatever they say, then you tell them that they're misrepresenting the 12-step program and that they're putting a bad taste in everyone's mouth and that they need to shut the fuck up because anyone in recovery who works a real 12-step program, who sponsors people, will take you on and sponsor you and they will work you through the steps. The 12 steps don't do it for me, but I understand that it's the answer for some. 19-year addict here, 15 years on methadone. Hey, Woody, welcome. I'm so proud of you, man. Hey, that's how we are over here. Like, I love the 12 steps, okay? I'm going to tell y'all. I love the 12 steps because I had an amazing experience. I had an amazing sponsor who took me on and was like, "I'll sponsor you." And she taught me so much and she took me through the 12 steps and it was an amazing experience for me. Like I learned so much about myself and I learned about how to talk to my higher power. I learned about how to humble myself, and I learned how to, you know, I learned how to look within me and see how my actions affected other people. And I truly made changes in my life. You know what I mean? But what is a sponsor? Okay, so a sponsor is someone, like if you go to a 12-step fellowship like AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, Cocaine Anonymous, a sponsor is someone who has worked the 12 steps, who has a sponsor, and who can sponsor sponsees. And so when a newcomer comes into a meeting and they're sober, newly sober, and they're seeking someone to sponsor them and take them through the 12 steps, then they would ask a person who has been through the 12 steps who also has a sponsor to sponsor them. And so it's basically like an accountability partner, but with the 12 steps. They take you through the 12 steps. I also don't do the NAA thing, and I think it's awesome, but it doesn't. Yeah. And here's the thing. That's why I'm trying to get you guys so excited about Mara. The book just isn't ready yet. As soon as the book is finished, we will be able to start reading the book together. And I am so damn excited about that, you guys. Like, it is going to go down. Hey, Rich. Okay, cool. Whenever I get off here, I'll go get my phone. My son has my phone, and he's on a video game. So as soon as I get off here, I'll go check my messages and I'll text you back. Okay? So, yeah, I'm telling you guys, I know that if you didn't have a good experience with AA or NA, oh, Woody. Oh, Woody, welcome to my channel because you're going to love Mara. Mara is Medically Assisted Recovery Anonymous. It is a 12-step program for addicts or alcoholics that utilize science-based medication in their recovery, okay? And it is for people just like us, and they are literally writing a book so people can work the 12 steps through it. And let me show you. I'll show you. Here's their Facebook page. And so if you guys didn't know, here on Real Talk Recovery, we are allowed to facilitate Mara meetings every Friday at 7. I went and I got with Jeff and I messaged him and I got it to where we're allowed to have our own meetings here. So for those of you guys who haven't came to a Mara meeting, on Friday nights, every Friday at 7, we have a Mara meeting, okay? And I put the phone number up. You can call in, you can share, you can come on video with me. It's the bomb. We have so much fun. But Mara is a non-judgmental fellowship of men and women who are recovering from an unsafe lifestyle. Our goal is to live a safe lifestyle, and our code is non-judgment. So that is Mara, my friends, and I'm telling you, it's gonna be the shit. Whenever we get the book, it's gonna be the bomb. And so they're writing the book right now. They're putting like stories in the back of it of success stories with maintenance, and there are 12 steps in Mara, and they also have meetings in real life, but they're not in all of the states yet. So if you guys live somewhere and you're wondering, hey, is there Mara meetings here where I live? You can go to marainternational.org and look it up. They'll have a list of the states, and you click on your state, and it'll show you the address that they have Mara meetings. Okay? Hey, Reese, what's up? Yes, absolutely no judgment. It's not our job to tell you what medications to be on, how much to be on, whether or not you're clean or sober. Like, Mara is literally here to support you in your recovery, and it's just non-judgment is their code. And the reason I know all these things is because, I've been a member of Mara for the last year and a half, and here, I'll read you guys the 12 steps so you can get a better grasp of it, okay? I'm in rehab and relapse this week. The guilt is killing me. Mara sounds awesome. I don't like meetings, but I would definitely tune in. I'm in the UK. First of all, Woody, don't feel guilty, okay? Just know that, okay, so you relapsed, okay? Now what are you going to do? What are you learning from it? All right. So this is what I would suggest for you to do since you're in treatment right now. Go get yourself a notebook or a journal. Okay. And I want you to think back to your relapse and I want you to write down what was happening before your relapse and after your relapse. What were you thinking about before you got high? Were you stressed out? Were you angry? Were you hungry? Were you lonely? Were you tired? Were you feeling restless, irritable, or discontent? Were you triggered because you were hanging out with people that were getting high? So, really think about it and write down what was happening before, okay? And that will help you to be able to narrow it down to probably what caused you to go out and pick up. What was it that kind of tipped you over the edge? And that way you can learn from the experience instead of it just being like a waste. Okay. So this doesn't have to be a negative, it can be something that you learn from and you grow. Okay. Okay. So these are the 12 steps of merit. 1, we admitted that without help, we felt an inability to control our addiction and that our lives had become unmanageable. 2, we came to believe that, like all human beings, our power was limited and we needed to learn to let go and learn from others. 3, we made a decision to accept that we cannot control everything, assume a mindset of goodwill, and begin to seek our true voice within. 4, we made a searching and fearless inventory of our strengths and weaknesses. 5, admitted to ourselves without reservation and to another human being when we became ready and found the right person, the exact nature of our wrongs. 6, we're entirely ready to listen to wise counsel and seek that still voice, small voice within to guide us to change our behaviors which have been harmful to ourselves and others. 7, humbly begin the process of deep change so we can overcome our weaknesses. 8, made a list of all persons we have harmed, became willing to make amends to them all, and to forgive those against whom we have held grudges. 9, we made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10, continued to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. 11, sought through self-reflection and meditation to improve our awareness and understanding of ourselves and the world around us. 12, as a result of these steps, we became aware of our true voice within. We came to realize our purpose and helped others find theirs. These are the traditions which ideally ensure the continuance of our meetings. As a group, we should help each other to maintain our common welfare. Our recovery may depend upon our unity. Our leaders are but trusted servants. They do not govern. Anyways, those are the traditions. Anyway, do you hear that in those 12 steps? And this is another reason why I know a lot of people don't like AA and NA is because they say God in the 12 steps. So in Mara, okay, yeah, in Mara, there is not any word, there is no God in the steps in Mara, okay? There is no like religious connotation or anything like that. And so I think that's good because it makes it easier for people who maybe don't believe in Jesus or God to be able to feel comfortable working the steps, So I think it's really cool. I'm excited. They're getting the book ready, and like I said, if you guys live in the United States and you want to know if they have meetings where you live, all you have to do is go to marainternational.org and click on the state button, look for your state, click it, and then it'll show the address. Now, if you go and there's not a meeting in your state, you can actually start your own meeting. And there is a place where you press contact us, and you can contact Mara through email, and they can help you to get your own meeting started in the state you live in. So, no, Mara, Medically Assisted Recovery Anonymous. So, anyways, I just want to thank you guys all for being here tonight. I hope that we touched enough on judgmental family members and how to deal with somebody like in recovery that's just giving you a hard time, that's judging you, that's not here for you, right? I'm here to learn how to help addiction in my friends and family, and I'm have to watch this again. Hey, Reese. Reese, if you want me to, I'll make a special video just for you and I'll put it up tomorrow morning, and it'll be all about how to help your loved ones who are struggling with addiction. Okay? How does that sound? Or Reese, if you want to text me, you can text me here and I can help you with anything you need help with, okay? So, I hope you guys have a good night. I love y'all so much. Y'all are my people. Tomorrow is Tuesday, so I normally don't go live on Tuesdays, but I will have a video up. So look for that. It'll be up after I get off work tomorrow. It'll probably be a story time. And Reese, if you want to, you can text me and I will answer you right back. And I will make a video specifically for loved ones who have family members who are in active addiction. And I will teach you exactly what you need to do to help them, okay? So I go live, Woody, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Mara is Friday at 7 p.m. Central. Good job. Good job, you guys. Thank you, my friends who are helping me. So what I'm going to do for those of you guys that are new and just finding my channel, I'm going to post on my community tab my uploading schedule so that way you'll know. But just keep it in your mind. Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay? All right. Love you guys. I'll see you later.